I downloaded Fedora, and I downloaded Fedora 43. Then I just need to run the system update right now. So that's exactly what we're going to do. So I'm going to pull up something here just to show you the instructions on how to upgrade, just in case you've forgotten. Okay, so well, by the way, you should subscribe because it helps grow the channel and helps me get more content, because a lot of my more recent content is coming from viewers just like you. So when I learn something, I share. Obviously, there are things I like, which I obviously share as well. But a lot of content, especially the beginner-friendly stuff, that's always requested by viewers just like you. So be sure to subscribe. And I'd like to thank everybody subscribed so far this month. Keep it up. It helps us, as I said, it helps grow the channel. Okay. Now, this is the earlier article which I used to live stream, and as I said, we basically just installed Remmina. It's a desktop, remote desktop client. We're focusing on RDP, which is the remote desktop protocol. We're not going to use VNC, NX, XDMCP, SSH, and others, which, as you guys saw, it does have the protocol, there are plugins for those as well. So there's a couple ways you can install. You can install it from FlatHub. I installed the one from Fedora repositories. You can install it from the software package, or you can install it from the command line. This is basically what I did. DNF install Remmina. I think I used the software. I can't remember how I installed it. But as you can see, here we go. And then once you get the credentials, you put them in there. It will then be able to connect right here, as you can see, and then you can control the if the permission is set to control, like remote login, which I did. You guys saw that as well. So yeah, so that's it. And then you can obviously control the computer, switch you off on it. Now, as I repeat, this is one thing that confuses people. It confuses me when I started as well. You can, so the device you want to connect to has to be on. You can't control it. For example, you can't control the boot process or anything like that, because for that one you need something wired or some special hardware stuff with a monitor. So obviously I don't have that. So meaning that I'm only able to control this, for example, like a login. For example, if I have to reboot, I have to wait until it has rebooted, and we'll test that today as well. It's my first time doing this rebooting and waiting for it to come up. So basically, to just reboot, once it's rebooted, then I'll still be able to connect it, because remember, I have the credentials. I already saved it in the GNOME keyring. And this is a live stream from the earlier tutorial. What I'm going to do is this current live stream, I'm going to append it here at the bottom so people can watch both videos. It'll be like a part 2 or something like that. I haven't come up with a name yet. I've been actually pretty busy today. I'll explain that when we go through this. So I'm going to leave it right around here. Okay, oh, too far. I'll leave it right here. Okay. So all you have to do is you connect to the remote desktop. You just put in the IP here. You know, I left everything the way we left off. So literally, it's just like a continuation. So this one here, you see, the laptop has been on since the live stream from the live stream from the afternoon, which is crazy. So let's go and see. So I just have to unlock here. Okay. So there's two passwords. One is the regular password, which I have, and then one for the not VNC. I was going to say RDP, remote desktop. Okay, as you can see here. So remember, I told you one of the reasons of Fedora or something like Arch Linux. Actually, all Linux, if you haven't updated in a while, and you want to do an upgrade, the keys might change. In this case, you see it's the GPG keys or OpenPG, GP key. You see it changed. Obviously, they have one for Fedora 43. That's what I'm saying. That I think Debian are pretty stable there. They probably keep the same keys, but Fedora, as you can see, when they have a new version, they do change the key so that the fingerprint. So that's one reason it's a good idea to update all the time. So I already did that. And then it says the key was successfully imported, and then transaction stored to perform offline, because the good thing about performing offline, meaning that, for example, if this was on a network, say this was a remote machine, I want to be able to, because I said before, if in my case I have the computer literally physically in front of me. What I'm saying is that in some cases, like on a server, you might not have that thing where it's in front of you, so doing an offline upgrade makes sense. So in this case, you see, it tells you how to do this. So you can just use DNF. I don't have to put DNF5, it's a default. I can just put DNF if when I was using DNF5, I would have to type something like DNF space system, sorry, DNF space system hyphen upgrade space reboot. In the new one, I just follow this instruction. So obviously got to run it as root. So just type sudo DNF5 offline reboot. Okay, so that's the sudo password. So I did that. Now it says system will reboot now, upgrade to release 43. Yes. So I click yes. So it's gonna do it offline. You see, it went off here, and the laptop is rebooting. So I wanted to show you this to you. We went through this earlier today. So basically, the instructions are here. How to upgrade offline. That's what I'm doing offline, because I said yes, I do have the computer right in front of me. It's right here, right in front of me. I can even lift it up if you guys want to see. But I like doing this because this is a way to, I like doing it. It lets me, for example, this laptop is encrypted. So that's one of the annoying things, is that in order to reboot, obviously I have to be in front of it. That's how I set up, but most workstations are not like that. So you see, we talked about this. So it recommends you to refresh your system first, and then after that you download what release version you want. It only supports up to 2 releases. It can probably do more, but what it supports is only 2 releases. So for example, you can go from 41 to 43. And obviously, when 44 comes out, you can go from 42 to 44. You can skip a version. All right. So so this is what I did on the command line. I didn't want to use the GUI because I said it's going to update the packages first. So I won't know what's going on. If something breaks, I don't know. That's why I prefer doing it on the command line, because on the command line I can see what's going on. Like you saw, it finished everything. So that's great. Instead of just running when you can't see now. If you don't have time, you can set it, forget it, and go somewhere else. But I said I like to see what's going on, because I said the easiest way to, for example, this laptop, I said there's nothing, what do you mean? There's nothing critical on it. I can literally just wipe it clean. So the fastest way is obviously just to reinstall Fedora, right? That'll be the fastest way to do it. Okay, so it says you can also upgrade to 44. Right now, that is like a rawhide. Rawhide is like the unstable, like so Debian has unstable. So that one is never going to be released, because that's packages from that will eventually become the next part of the next release. For example, like right now, because Fedora 43 was released, Fedora 44 now starts taking shape, right? So meaning that packages from rawhide will probably go into 44, and in spring 44 will be the latest release. In this case right now, the way Fedora works is after a new release comes, like 43 came out, 41 is supported for 1 month, 1 month, bringing it a total support to 13 months. And that's pretty good. I'm okay with that. But what I usually do is, if I'm running Fedora on my servers, I usually keep it 1 version behind. So for example, about now I'll upgrade to 42, because I've been testing 42 here and it's stable. So that's what I'll be doing. Okay, so if you want to remove or uninstall install some packages, be manually before running this, it's advisable to perform the operations to keep cache and all that. So you can go read about this. So it says here, if you're running DNF4, I can't remember which one that was. I think that was poly. Yeah, it says right here. So basically, if you had anything Fedora 40 and a bit before, you run DNF space system hyphen upgrade space reboot. This command will still work. However, starting from Fedora 41, that one had DNF5. You can simply just type DNF5 offline reboot. Now, maybe boring. Why can't you just type DNF? Well, the reason for that is because they keep both. It's because some people are running older systems. I'm not talking about Fedora. I'm talking about like Red Hat, CentOS, or stuff like that. So Fedora, if you notice, sometimes when you need some newer packages, they always come from Fedora. That's why. All right, and then you can verify here. Now I trust them, so you saw the stuff on the command line, so you could simply go here to security. You should do this as well to verify your download. Now the download came from the repository, so I've already been trusting because I've been updated, and you can see how you can verify the keys. It shows you how to do that, whether it's GPG keys. You can import the keys yourself. Then you can list the GPG keys, and then you can use checksum, or you can use the SHA-256 sum to verify that they actually came from Fedora, the official ones. And then after the upgrade is done, remember this is not an update, it's an upgrade. So when the upgrade is done, then you just type DNF5 offline clean. That will clean up and get you some more space. Sometimes you need to do some post-upgrade tasks. For example, sometimes some packages have been abandoned, so you might need to remove them. See, in my case, it was pretty straightforward. Most of the time, I have to do it on the desktop. Sometimes I'm running some applications that are pretty old, or they're no longer maintained. So you have to put something like allow erasing, or find a substitute. I haven't had to do that in a while, as I said, because my system is pretty clean. I just everything I use is pretty up to date. Whether most of the stuff I do on my workstation is, for example, for clients, database related stuff. So I can use any database, for example, MySQL, MariaDB, SQLite, etc. So that's perfectly fine. I always try to use one of the later ones. So that way, when the client requests that I upgrade their servers, I already know that it's going to work because I've been testing it for a few years, right? So that's why I prefer to do that. So I'm well aware of that. And then there's other things here. RPM conf. You can do this as well. And I said, if you're using the GUI, you don't have to do any of this stuff. It'll take care of that for you. But I said the problem with the GUI is that it's going to make some assumptions, and you might not want that, right? You might keep some packages there. That's what I prefer to see what's going on. And I said, in my case, it's pretty straightforward. By the way, it says it's 21% complete. This is why I didn't want to do this. It's probably going to go pretty quickly because I said there's no conflicts or anything, but I didn't want to do this during the day live stream. And of course, if you have to install the bootloader, it shows you how to do all this stuff as well. For example, maybe you're switching, you have like a bigger hard drive or something like that. You want to twist some things, you can, and then you can clean up retired packages. This is the thing I was trying to tell you. You see, it says here, with every release, Fedora retires a few packages. These are various reasons. The packages might become obsolete. They have a dead upstream, meaning they have been abandoned, or the maintainer break steps down. There was actually one instance, I think it was for RPM, the main contributor to RPM. He was actually killed in a bicycle accident way back in the day. So, but obviously RPM is something that Fedora, obviously Red Hat uses a lot. So in that case, obviously people would maintain it. But I'm saying if it's one of those packages where it's just one maintainer, oops, so Fedora obviously have to abandon it. So Fedora no longer distributes these packages. However, they are still on your system. These packages will not receive upgrades. It's highly recommended to remove them. So I have experience with this, and I'll explain very, very shortly. That's what I've been up to the last couple of days. So you see, it says DNF remove retired packages. I probably need to. I don't think I need to run this, I said, because the system is pretty clean, but you might need to. And if you upgrade across 2 releases, for example 41, 43, you must also supply old release versions to remove retired packages, because you have to remove it for say 41, then 42. Oh, sorry, 41 only, because you crossed 2 of them. And then of course you clean up the duplicates. I haven't had to do this in a while, even on my main system. I think it's because I'm using Flatpak for some applications, so that makes it easy there. And then there we go. So there's more. Clean up odd kernels. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff you can clean up, but I said these days it works extremely well. Now you can resolve some post-upgrade issues. There you can see on the C Linux and frequently asked questions, and bug reports, and all. I think I should do a tutorial on how to file bug reports. I think yeah, I might do that as well. Actually, this year I had to file 2 bug reports, and they're both being resolved. So maybe I might do that. One was for Inkscape, and it also related to Inkscape. That bug was also screwing up with the file manager. So yeah, I'll show you guys how to do that. And then speaking of Red Hat, the Bugzilla, that was kind of wonky. Yeah, the instructions didn't make any sense on how to file a bug. So maybe, you know what, I think I really should do that tutorial just to show you how to resolve that issue. Okay, so that's it, simple. I said as I said, I explained there's 2 ways to do an upgrade. You can use the software manager, you can do it in the command line. I prefer doing it in the command line because the offline one. Because the offline one means that it will continue without you being there. So that's a perfect thing, especially if you're on a server or on a remote system you can't physically get to. Now, one of my problems with my laptop, I said, is because the laptop has it's encrypted, so I need to enter the encryption password just before it boots. So that is probably something that where offline this won't work very well. That's why I prefer the Debian way. Debian can do everything there, and then obviously just reboot. So meaning that you reboot. I mean, there are ways to pass in the password as well, but yeah, that's I don't want to teach you guys that, because that's not it does work, but that's not what it's intended for. And then it becomes security by obscurity, which is not secure. All right, so what is this here? Oh yeah, this is checksum. All right, so I'm going to talk about one of those package problems. So Fedora 42, the one I've been using up last week. As you guys know, I have an AMD Instinct MI60 GPU. It's been working fantastic. I've been able to use it for recording, like creating videos. It doesn't work in Blender because Blender removed OpenCL, and it's a Vega 20. So the reason I got it because it has 32 gigs of VRAM. I got it used off eBay. So, but AI, it's been fantastic. So everything was working fine. I even found a faster way to generate images and videos. Yes, not Comfy UI. There's an application called stable-diffusion.cpp. I'm thinking of doing a tutorial on it. So here's the problem. I was doing something else, and I discovered something called llama.cpp. I was so impressed with it, I even created my own web UI. It's working fantastic. Now, what I found out was that in the Fedora repos, there is a Python binding for llama.cpp. However, that didn't come with Fedora 42. It only came with Fedora 43 and up. So I was eager to update to Fedora 43. So as soon as Fedora 43 came out, I immediately upgraded, and everything got upgraded, including my ROCOM. Now, what I didn't realize was that because it was detecting my GPU, I was thinking, okay, that's a problem, and llama.cpp was still working, and then I started having problems. I couldn't generate any images, or I could, but it was using the CPU, so it slowed down. And the videos, I couldn't generate any videos. I used the same commands. Oh, nice, nice, yes. Okay, so maybe I'll try it out. I might. So point, point of Avgu. Oh, I don't know if I'll just say point. Point. I just said that llama.cp just came out with their own web UI a few days ago. Okay, fantastic. I'll go check it out, because if it's lightweight, I might just abandon mine. Okay. I might abandon mine because I've been adding a few features to mine, but yeah, if they have the web UI, I will just I'll just abandon mine. Anywho, back to my point. So I was thinking, what is going on? So what I found out was that my GPU was actually taken off. I know it was taken off the 7.0 version of ROCm, but I didn't realize it was taken off the version 6.4. So I only found out today when I began suspecting something during the upgrade messed it up. So I was testing, and things weren't working. So I got desperate, and yesterday I tried Vulkan, and today I was testing Vulkan. Vulkan works, but it's slower, and the problem is you can noticeably see how slow Vulkan is compared to obviously ROCm. Now they claim that it will probably be taking over in the future, where people will be able to generate stuff from the CPU and stuff. Yeah, that's possible, but not today. Not today. So so I was trying to resolve this. What I tried to do is in a container, Podman container, I installed ROCm 6.3, but that one didn't produce any pictures or video. So I was really scratching my head. I was like, what is going on here? And then it was only today I realized that I understand why people get upset with AMD, because AMD, my goodness, they have so many bugs in their drivers, even the open source ones for Vulkan, obviously, and ROCm itself. So that's why people get really frustrated. No wonder they stick to NVIDIA, because NVIDIA, though it's proprietary drivers, they just work, right? And they do support, to be honest, for a pretty long time. Like, for example, I just upgraded my system this year, and I bought the NVIDIA GTX 950 way back in 2016. And guess what? It was still supported. Even I think this year is when they finally stopped support for it. So you can imagine, like I think the GPU actually came out the year before. So you can imagine 10 years they supported the GPU. Only had 2 gigs of VRAM, and they still support it. That's really, really amazing. And that might not even be the end of that support for that GPU, because in Linux, I don't know about Windows, in Linux, NVIDIA also they have something else called legacy drivers. So it might go to the legacy drivers, then you have even more years. So yeah. So the reason I wanted to do a switch, there was 2 reasons. Number one is, I said, the VRAM, and number 2 is that there was a few notes, especially when you're using something like Fedora, where every time there's an update, there's a few quirks before things work out, before NVIDIA obviously releases a new driver that fixes those issues in the kernel. So it can be easily rebuilt, especially if you use CUDA. Anywho, so okay, this one is at 80% right now. So yeah. So what I did is earlier today, I went and removed ROCm 6.4 because yeah, it's not working, and I'm gonna recompile the stable-diffusion.cpp. I'm going to install another version of ROCm, and I'll let you guys know how that goes. The container one is a pain. Let you guys know how it goes. Yeah, it's working really well. I said I even got desperate too, by the way. I tried to reinstall ComfyUI, and obviously it didn't work. And ComfyUI is actually the one that actually led me down the path, knowing that the problem was obviously clearly ROCm 6.4. I think the problem is also because AMD, they do say that when they remove support, basically what they do is, I think they remove a few libraries, but the thing is, it still shows up and you think that, oh, my GPU is still supported when it's not. So that was one of those things. But now I know, like, officially it's not supported, so that makes sense. So I said I'll just remove it and just install another version, and I'll keep it from updating. Yeah, so this guy is at 94% complete. Usually what I notice about Fedora is it goes really, really fast, and then the last the last 5% takes a long time. So even though I'm giving in theory it should be fast, because I said the laptop has an NVMe drive, so it should be fast. But yeah, it probably take a while. Okay, so when that's done, I'll show everything here again. So while that's going on,